here's my roundup of the 5 best cars in Cyberpunk 2077, including what makes them special, the not so good, and how to unlock them. Despite the fact you can drive one block to lose police, and that there are relatively few driving missions, the best cars in Cyberpunk 2077 are still worth getting. If only to see the glorious neon sights of Night City, but also to cause havoc and win a few street races. Most of the cars in game can be driven for free if you have the correct ability level to break in, or the owner forgot to press lock. Not sure I'd be that trusting or forgetful in a city as plagued by gang crime. However, to keep a car forever requires either a certain street cred level and purchase, finding it in a specific place at a specific time, or completing a specific mission. When you own the car, you can then hail your new ride using a mobile phone, like in Tomorrow Never Dies, minus Pierce Brosnan. Annoyingly, your car collection does not stay on display in your apartment car park, which seems like a wasted opportunity, but perhaps future expansions will change this. Of course, there's an argument to be made for buying a cheaper and more maneuverable motorbike, such as the Yaeba Kusanagi CT3X, or the real-life one made by Arch, Keanu Reeves' motorcycle company. But if it's the safety and weather protection of 4 wheels you crave, stick around. These are my 5 favorites you really should try. We start this list with the most expensive car in Cyberpunk 2077, for now anyway. At €225,000, you're going to have to really want this British-made futuristic coupe, but then it does have one of the fanciest interiors and is super rare. In fact, just 6 are said to exist in Night City, all of which offer 950 horsepower and a weight of nearly 2 tons. Not so far removed from the various hypercars and supercars it takes inspiration from. And yes, it's named after a powerful sword in The Witcher 3, the fancy RPG made by CD Projekt Red before Cyberpunk 2077, and the one made into a Netflix series. But no, it's not as agile as almost all of the other cars in my list, and loves to oversteer. Great then for late night McDonald's drive-thru duties, and making other people feel poor. At least you don't have to worry about privacy with that fancy one-way glass. Bit of a spoiler, but Johnny Silverhand's Porsche 911 Turbo from 1977 is as pleasing to drive as it is to look at. Turns out that trademark shape stands out especially well in a cybernetic future. Its top speed is lower than the rest of the list, but considering the map never zooms out at speed, cornering agility prevails, and the Retromobile is strong in this area. The acceleration is brutal too, although the gearbox does sound a bit lazy and automatic. The design is largely unchanged from a normal 911 Turbo, except for camera mirrors, self-driving technology, and driving modes. Yes, you can see normal, hybrid, sport, and sport plus modes on a central display, although no option to actually use them in-game. 2 bits of trivia: this is the only real-world car in Cyberpunk 2077, and that the plaque on the side is said to be the signature of the senior vehicle artist at CD Projekt Red. We have him and his team to thank for the way the cars look. To get the 911, spoiler alert, you need to be friendly to Johnny to open up his side quests and have completed the Tapeworm main story quest. Chipping in will then unlock, get to the mission where you fight with someone called Grayson, tell him he, quote, got lucky today, and spare his life, and you'll be given access to a crate with the 911 inside. Open it, and voila. At €21,000, my next choice for the best cars in Cyberpunk 2077 list is hard to fault. Not only is it small and able to sneak around Night City like a tiny champ, its modified nature means it's substantially faster than it should be. 178 miles per hour is where it tops out in fact, and it gets there with enviable enthusiasm. So if you need to get away, this Gecko is perfectly slithery. That is, if you can tame it in the corners, as it can be a bit of a handful, and the suspension likes to throw it around. With practice, it can be kind of hilarious if you want to muck about. Plus, I like the early VW Golf meets Optimus Prime styling. Just watch out for tipping over. I'm not sure having a roof-mounted fuel tank is especially safe. Then again, this is a game where you meet a clown with a grenade for a nose, so I'm not sure it really matters. To unlock the Thornton Galena Gecko, roam around the Badlands long enough, and you should get a text from a fixer to buy this 365 horsepower horse of a vehicle. My penultimate choice is one where I feel like the developers were having a laugh, as it tops out at 199 miles per hour. Why not 200? Anyway, bitterness aside, the Mizutani Shion Coyote is so fast it could catch Roadrunner. It's actually one of the more pleasant cars when it comes to oversteer, and the engine noise, complete with some forced induction whooshing, is second to none. Also, the exhaust heat up and look awesome, but don't catch fire like a McLaren. As a nomad vehicle, it makes sense for it to work off-road. What's surprising is how agile and grippy it is on tarmac. It could just be the best handling car in Cyberpunk 2077. At €115,000, it will take some time to save up for, but it's the car I use the most, as I love the ridiculously technical interior and exterior styling, so I think it's worth it. If you want to try before you buy, you can borrow one during Panam's missions from Mitch, or betray Panam to Saul in the Queen of the Highway mission and get a black and red version free. But then, can you put a price on love? And the winner is the Rayfield Caliburn. For all-out speed and handling, it's worth its €157,000 price tag. But you never need to buy it, as you get it free after completing the mission Ghost Town in Act 2 of the main story. Supposedly, the free Caliburn is inferior to the paid one, although it does come in a black stealthy paint job compared with the paid one's more garish palette. I think both look epic, particularly the interior and its swanky mood lighting. Take that, Mercedes. Honestly, the Bugatti-esque machine is overkill for all driving missions in Cyberpunk 2077. Even on very hard, the street races with Claire can be done in cars that cannot reach the Caliburn's 211 mph top speed. With this, it's almost a joke. Just be sure to keep your steering inputs light, as it likes to spin out, which is either fun or tedious depending on your patience level and ability to adapt. I would also be ready to turn the volume down when at top speed, as its Lexus LFA-esque soundtrack can get tiresome. But these are small prices to pay when you consider how cool it looks, how fast it corners, and how awesome retractable spoilers can be. Simply head to the Badlands after the mission Hidden Gem in Act 2 and go back through the tunnel where you got into combat before. The free Caliburn can be found in a shipping container. If only it were that simple in real life. And that's it for my best cars of Cyberpunk roundup. If you enjoyed it, subscribe and like. If you didn't, I'll do better. I'm level 50 and have finished basically everything in the game, so happy to make more videos. Take care, bye.